Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Red here, and today on Pure Luck Gaming we're going to talk about classes. For the background gameplay, I'm on the Conquest game mode for the map Argoone Forest. Now, like I said, Battlefield is a bit of a different game. It's not Call of Duty and all that, so when it comes to picking a class or deciding what class is best, there really is no easy answer. The best class is really going to change depending on the person, and actually a couple other things. Four factors really kind of go into what you need to look at when deciding what class you need to run. First, you have your skills and abilities, because if you're horrible with a class, you're not going to help out anybody, and there's no point in picking it. The map that you're on, the game mode that you're on, and the people you play with. Like I said, first is kind of your skills and abilities. The reason why is because if you're not good with a certain class, you're not going to be helping out your team. Battlefield isn't Call of Duty. You really have to work more as a team and communicate. So you can't sit there and go in lone wolf style, run and gun, and get whatever many kills and have a high kill death ratio and win the map. That's probably not going to happen. It's just a different animal. So you have to be honest with yourself for what classes you end up being good with and what kind of overall environments for the map, size, and all that, where you can be effective with that class. Because if you can't be effective with it, you're not going to help out your team. If you're not going to help out your team, you don't need to run that class. Second one is kind of the map you're on. Some maps are a bit more open, some of them are a bit more congested where you have more chaos, meaning that kind of like this map for Argoone Forest, even though I'm on the Conquest game mode, where the overall size of the map is a little bigger than some other game modes, you have more objects for as far as rock formations, train cars, trees, and everything that's in the way, so you have more places to hide, more cover, more concealment, and since you have more of limited paths that you can move around on the map, when you run into somebody on the enemy team, kind of like for this part of the video, generally you're not running into just one person, it's multiple people. So you kind of have to factor that in for what class you really need to pick, because if you're going to be engaging more people at one time, something that's going to make it easier for you to take on kind of more than one enemy at a time is probably going to be a better choice than something where you can only engage one target at a time, then you have to sit there and wait before you can engage another target. So map really kind of has an important factor in it, but when evaluating a map, you really have to look at the game mode that you're playing. The reason why I say that is because when you play Conquest, all the maps are bigger. When you play something like Team Deathmatch or Domination, the map may be the same, however the area that you get to run around in is a lot smaller, which means a map like this one, you're going to run into the enemy more often, and when you run into the enemy, you're going to be running into more than one person. And since it's smaller, instead of when you run into more than one person, it's probably not going to be 2 or 3, it's more likely to be 4 or 5. So you have to kind of factor that in your skills and abilities with different classes. You need to take that into account for which one you need to run for that specific scenario. Like I said, as the map changes and the game modes change, all that is basically, it ends up being a grayscale. You get on a larger map or a game mode where things are a bit more open, then that gives you more opportunities to be successful with different classes. So you kind of have to factor that in. The last part is the people you play with. If you play with the same people on a regular basis, everybody falls into specific roles for classes that they run all the time, generally speaking. When you get into a random lobby where you're not playing with your friends, you have to look at the classes that everybody else is running. For me, on larger maps where it's a desert environment, I like to run the scout class and have fun with the sniper rifle. For me, with my skills with the scout class, even though this is a larger map because we're playing on Conquest, it's a lot more chaotic, and I'm not quite good enough with a sniper rifle to be effective on this map, so I'm not running the scout class. The people around me, or the people that are on my squad, we have somebody that's a medic, and you saw that earlier. I got killed and I got revived. I got brought back because we had a medic. And not sure where he's at this point, but we do have somebody running support, so when we run out of ammo, they can throw out an ammo pack and we can get more grenades and more bullets and stuff. We didn't really have somebody running assault, which for this map you have a giant train that comes by. In other maps you have vehicles. Assault is the only class that's really built to kind of combat vehicles. So if you have a map where you either have a giant train or a lot of vehicles, somebody really needs to run assault to kind of combat that and kind of really keep that aspect of the game at bay, so that you don't have something like a tank or whatever coming by and just constantly destroying everybody on your squad. So you need to kind of counter that. And like I said, for this, we didn't really have a lot of people on my specific squad that was running assault, so since I'm okay with the assault class for maps like this where it's more chaos and you run into people more, I went ahead and ran the assault class. So like I said, I would love to sit there and say run this class in this scenario on these maps and all that. You can't really do that because so much of it ends up being a grayscale where you have to take in multiple things into account when making decisions. So like I said, even though it's nothing specific, hopefully pointing out these different factors can help you in the long run for making the best decision for picking a class. Like I said, hopefully it helps. If you like the video and you think it helps, hit the like button. Always more than welcome to subscribe. And of course, as always, I will see you in the next video.
Trend, yeah, I said it again, man, I got a vendetta when I get in the pen. Gotta get better with every gem you drop it, you never be better than him. Rack at the back to face, better get attacked to the hot to the base. So when I have it ever some wind down, gotta blow the pound, every track to lace. With a bit of arsenic, took me long, big on the guns to master this, so marvelous. Master the flow, bars at the throw, disastrous. So better get better with the back to face. Swinging like a fist, sticking like a hatchet, action blades and acid base. Better be ready to match it,